Welcome guys back to my channel. Today I'm just going to do a little replacement. My idler pulley is actually making a little squeaky noise, so I'm going to replace it today. We usually replace the unit, the idler pulley, the drive belt, and the tensioner. Fortunately, the tensioner and the drive belt had been replaced 6 months ago, and so today I only will be replacing the idler pulley. So let's get into it. Okay guys, so the first step I'm going to be doing is disconnect my negative post on my battery for safety. It's very important, guys. Make sure that you don't have no accidents happens during replacing this idler pulley. And then the next step is to set your jack underneath the vehicle. It's already set in place, and then I will be loosening on my lugs. Then I will be jacking up on my vehicle here, but first, to make sure your vehicle doesn't roll back, make sure you set your emergency brakes, that when you jack up on your vehicle it doesn't roll back and probably rolls right off your jack. So it's very important to set your emergency brakes, and that has been set on this vehicle, so I know safety is all in place. So now I'm going to jack up on my vehicle here, and once I get the vehicle up, clear the wheels should be turning freely, then I will set my jack stand in place. So here's my jack stand over here. Once I get the vehicle high enough where the wheel will be off the ground, I will place my jack stand underneath the vehicles for safety. So you can see how safety is very important to me. So this is what we do here, guys. Okay, now the wheel is clear the ground, I can place my jack stand underneath the vehicle for safety. Now I can take my wheel here off. Okay, now I can take my wheel here off, put it aside. Okay, the next step I'm going to be doing is remove this guard right here. Remove this guard here. This guard here, there's a clip right here. This clip here just comes out of there. I have a tool for it, but it just comes out of there. And then there is another fastener up here, 10mm bolt. A 10mm bolt is up here that support this guy here, so I will get to it. And then I go right into the harmonic balancer, idler pulley, and the tensioner, which is right behind here. So let me get this clip here out and this 10mm bolt up in here. So now I have my wheel removed. Now I can go right into the guard. Now, as I said before, the guard has a clip right here and a 10mm bolt up in here that support this guard here. So I have a tool here just for this clip. Goes around it like that and just pulls out like that. And then I have a 10mm socket here. It's a 1/2 inch that goes to a reducer from a 1/2 inch to a 3/8. So the 3/8 end goes on the 3/8 handle, and then the reducer attached to the 10mm socket here. And then I go up in here and remove this 10mm bolt. Here. Okay, here's your 10mm bolt. And then there's another clip right here ahead of this clip right here. There's 1/4 of it right here. Then I can get this thing here down. Okay, so as I said before, to remove this guard right here, there's a 10mm bolt that I removed from here. The clip came from right here. And there's also one more clip forward of this one, which is under here. Once you remove this clip forward of this one here, you can now remove this guard and have access to the harmonic balancer and the rest of the devices like the drive belt, your tensioner, and your idler pulley. So first I have to remove this guard here. So let me get to the clip forward of this one here, which I have to use my creeper to go underneath the vehicles here. And this is a tool that I used to put around this clip here and yanked it out. So here it is forward of here. Here it is right here. Right here. Just put the tool around it and just pull it out. And that's how you remove this guard right here. This guard here just comes out. Okay guys, so to remove this guard here, there's a 10mm bolt here. There's a clip right here. Also there's another 10mm bolt ahead of this clip. And then there's another clip forward of this one right here. So I have to remove two 10mm bolts and 2 clips to remove this guard here. So this one had been taken out. This clip here had been removed. And then I got another 10mm bolt, which is up forward of this one here, and then a clip forward of this guy here. So let me get into this one here. This 10mm bolt is up in here. Okay, here's the guard here. So we have one 10mm bolt here, another one here, a clip right here, and then there's a clip right here. So there are 2 clips and 2 10mm bolts that attach this guard. So put this aside, and now we have access to the harmonic balancer, where the drive belt goes around here, and this is the tensioner right here. The tensioner is spring loaded against the drive belt. So the first thing we have to do is release the tension off the belt. Then I will get enough looseness to take the belt off the harmonic balancer, the idler pulley, the power steering pump, the alternator, and the AC compressor. So let's get into it right now. Okay, this is this is your AC compressor. This right here. This is your alternator. This here is your water pump. This here is your idler pulley. Here's your power steering pump right here. That's the power steering pump. This is your tensioner. Hold on. Tensioner right here. This is your power steering pump, your tensioner, and your harmonic balancer, otherwise known as the crankshaft pulley. This guy right here. And this here, if you can see it, this right here is the idler pulley right there. And that's what we need to replace. This guy right here. You need a 13mm socket for this bolt here. So we have to release the tension of the belt right here by use a 3/8 breaker bar and release the tension off here. Take the belt off the tensioner, and then we have enough looseness to get to the idler pulley. So first, here is the breaker bar, the 3/8 breaker bar, and it goes into this slot right there. And you bring the tension off the belt, like that. Okay, now I got the tension off the belt. I can now use my 13mm socket and my speed handle to loosen up the 13mm bolt. Then I can take off the idler pulley here. And remember, the tensioner is the first thing that we release the tension off the belt, and it should be the last place the belt should attach the tensioner. The first place the belt should be removed from, and should be the last place the belt should attach to the tensioner. Okay, let me see if I have finger tight. Yeah, I should be able to loosen this guy here and then take this guy here out. Okay, here is the idler pulley. Now this is the new idler pulley. It came from AutoZone. And that's the old one here. So we have to match it up, make sure that it's the same diameter and the grooves about the same before we installed it. Look the same to me here. Okay, so now I can go ahead and install this new part here, this idler pulley. Then we can go ahead and reroute the belt. Now the belt routing, you can find it in the owner's manual, and I actually drew a diagram, which is I put it on my wall here, and this is exactly how it is on the vehicle. So this is the harmonic balancer, that's your water pump, and that's your AC compressor, your alternator, and the idler pulley is this guy right here, It sits up there. Then the belt goes over to your power steering pump, and then the tensioner is the last place you would attach it. So this tensioner here is spring loaded upward this way. So you attach the breaker bar and bring it down, which is against the tension force, and then you take the belt off here and release the tension off the rest of these items, and the idler pulley is what we replace. So when we're ready to reinstall the belt, we make sure that it goes around your harmonic balancer, goes around the water pump, around your AC compressor, around your alternator, around your idle pulley, around your power steering pump, and the last place you need to attach it is to your tensioner here. So the tensioner, you're going to bring it down, slide the belt over it, the last place, and then release the tension. Then the tension is going to spring load it up, and then it will bring tension. And before you start the vehicle up, you actually double check the routings. Make sure. Now, just to be aware of it, the belt has grooves in it, and the only places that doesn't have grooves on these devices is your tensioner and your water pump. Every device has got grooves. The harmonic balancer has a groove in it, the AC compressor has a groove, the alternator has a groove, your idler pulley has a groove, and your power steering pump has grooves in it. The only devices that don't have grooves, your tensioner and your water pump, and you can see the back of the belt go over here smooth right here on the tensioner, and you see the back of the belt routed over your water pump. There's no grooves on your tensioner and there's no grooves on your water pump, so be aware of that. So like I said, the last place the belt should attach to is on your tensioner, and that's where the spring loaded will be attached and spring loaded to the belt to keep the tension on the belt. So be aware of that when you get ready to reroute your belts. And you can find this information in the owner's manual. I just actually locally drew it on a piece of paper here just for references only. So be aware of that. So now we can go ahead and reinstall this new idler pulley. So let's go from here. Okay guys, so now I matched the new pulley with the old pulley, and it's the same dimensions, grooves are the same, diameter is the same, and the insulation hole is the same. So now I can go ahead and install this new pulley here. Like I said earlier before, the only reason why I'm not replacing the tensioner and the drive belt is because they were replaced 6 months ago, and that's the only reason why I am not replacing those devices. So here I go installing this new pulley here. So first we go underneath of the vehicle and line it up, the belt. So now I get my idle pulley back up in place here. Sits on there and get the bolt. See, the pulley is in place right there. Right there. Attach my 13mm socket to my speed handle, and I can go ahead and run it all the way down. Okay, that's in place. Yeah. Okay. That's in place. 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 Let me see. Okay. Okay, so now I got the belt routed back in place here. We are making sure that it starts with the harmonic balancer, then it goes around the water pump, back around to the AC compressor, over to your idler pulley, around the power steering pump, and last place to attach it is right here at your tensioner right here. Make sure that it sits nicely on your tensioner, and then I can take the breaker bar out and double check the routings. So here is the harmonic balancer. The belt goes around it, and then it goes over the back of it, rides over your water pump here, then it comes down. So it comes down here to your AC compressor right here, then it goes around your AC compressor. So the routing of the belt, see, it travels around your harmonic balancer, which is the crankshaft pulley. Then the back of it rides over your water pump. See, the water pump here doesn't have any grooves in it. Then it comes down and it rides around your AC compressor, which is this guy right here that got grooves in it. And then it goes over around your alternator grooves right here, and then it rides on top over your idler pulley that got grooves. Then it goes around to your power steering pump that got grooves, and then the last place to attach it is to your tensioner right here, and then right back around your harmonic balancer. So definitely I making sure that the routings is correctly before I start this vehicle here up. So 100% guaranteed that this routing is correctly. So now this routing is correctly, I can go ahead and start this vehicle here up before I reconnect the guards. So this is where we are right here. Now I got my belt routed correctly, my idler pulley is installed, and now I can reconnect my battery and then go ahead and start the engine up and make sure that everything operates smoothly. So here we go. Reconnecting my negative post to my battery terminal. Snug it down very nicely. Double check positive, make sure everything's just nicely. And then now I can go ahead and start the vehicle, make sure that everything operates normally. So here I go. Okay guys, the symptoms I was listening for earlier, it was a rattling noise, squeaky rattling noise in the engine compartment here. And what I did earlier before I replaced the idler pulley, I sprayed some fluid down inside there. I sprayed some on the idler pulley, and a little bit of fluid around the tensioner pulley and the alternator pulley, but I started out with the alternator pulley and the noise remained. I went straight to the tensioner pulley and the noise still existed. I sprayed it on the idler pulley and that's when the noise went. So I knew I discovered what the issue was. And so I went to AutoZone and purchased a new idler pulley, and now I had replaced it, and I started the vehicle up and cranked it up, engine started smoothly, and that noise went. So I knew I discovered what the issue was and got rid of the problem. So just a little pep talk, guys. Whenever you have any kind of squeaky noise in your engine, it's a good way to spray a little fluid down there around each pulley, because there are bearings there and they had a tendency of wearing out over the period of times. So instead of go deep, just start it out very minor, and that will give you a clear indication what the issue is sometimes. So that's the way to go about it. Now I can go ahead and reinstall my guard here, and I can wrap it up from here. Now I can let the vehicles down. Okay, remove my jack, and then I can finally double check my lugs, make sure that they are snug nicely. All my lugs, make sure that they are snug nicely and not hanging up. Okay guys, that's the final installation for my idler pulley on this 2015 Chrysler Town & Country. This procedure is for the 2008 through 2015, and like I show you on this diagram here, it came out of the owner's manual. This is the diagram that I locally drew on this piece of paper here that I can use for demonstration only. So you can use your owner's manual if you really need to get the original diagram from it. Okay, I just want to say, guys, thank you very much to support this channel. I very much appreciate it. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks again. Bye.